Hello, folks, and good afternoon from the Midwest. So, today I will be discussing the second part of my first video, which was on logical volume management. Today, the volume that I created in the last video, I'm going to try to figure out a way to extend it. What usually requires that we extend volumes is in situations or scenarios where we've run out of room and we need more space. So then in those instances, we would be required to extend the volume. So here, I'm going to share my screen and show you what I know. So here, I already have my Linode set up. I'm already logged in as a regular user. This time, I'm not logged in as root. We want to try to not log in. For one, I'm logging in from a shell terminal from my MacBook into Linode. And usually you don't want to log into your server via secure shell or telnet or anything for that matter for security reasons. So I logged in as a regular user whom I have given sudo powers. So let's see how that works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see what kind of logical volumes I have in my system. So we could just start with the physical devices that are part of any volume group. So we could do the regular least block -f command, and we see that there's a volume group called OLU and a logical volume within that volume group called OLU LV. They're each 7 gigabytes. Okay, so the logical volume total space is about 7 gigabytes. If you recall, when I created the volume, I created it with a value of about 9 GIBs. So let's just go ahead and verify that. So if I do LV display, that should tell me about all the logical volumes on my station, on my workstation. So we have to invoke superpowers. Okay, so my sudo so I do have SU powers based on configurations. So we see that our LV size is 7 gigabytes. The current logical extent is 1792. That makes sense. Okay, and we have our UID. The volume group is OLU VG. Okay, let's take a look at the volume group. So VG display, and that's about as far as I'm going to go. So here's our volume group. We have a physical extent of 4 megabytes. Okay, total PE is 2300 about and 1. So free size right now, if you look right here, it tells you your physical extents, what you have free in terms of physical extents and or size. So 509 extents available, less than 1.99 gigabytes. GIBs, because gigabytes and GIBs, there's a little bit of a difference between the two. I think, and don't quote me, I think 1024 gigabytes make 1 GI. I could be wrong, so I retract that. But there's a slight difference. It's not a one-to-one mapping. So what I want to investigate today is, what if we wanted to extend this logical volume to use what's left? So we have about 1.99 GIBs left. So let's go see what commands the VG extend, what options the VG extend gives us. So as usual, I don't have these things memorized, so I'll go to the manual page for VG volume, logical volume extend. And we could just go to the example. So the first option is extend the size of logical by 54 MIBs using a specific physical volume. So, okay, so LV extend hyphen large L, big L, that means use the exact size. The second one is extended by the amount of free space on a physical volume. Okay, so this is equivalent to specifying lowercase l 100% PPS on the command line. And then here is a certain physical extent. So why don't we try extend an LV to use all remaining free space in volume group and and resize its file system with FS ADM. So that automatic resizing I'll talk to you about here in a second. So let's exit out of here hopefully, and that is not showing still. So let me see if I can copy that. If not, well, there are other things to do. Command C, I am using a Mac. Command V. Okay. So the -R tells the command to automatically resize the logical volume when you run this command. Another thing option you could do is not invoke the -R, and then you would have to invoke the xfs.grow fs command or something like that. So I prefer to just give the -R option because then it automatically resizes it and reformats the logical volume if needed. So I think that we need to invoke which volume group. Okay, here, let me just do this. Clear LV display. Okay, so then we'll invoke this command now. And then we'll go device olu LV. So what this does is whatever memory is available that's free, it would automatically extend it in terms of extents because I'm invoking the small capital L. So 100% free says whatever is left, use 100% of this to extend the volume. The -R option says resize and reformat. Okay. So this should be it. And I have to use my superpowers. Okay, so let's look at what we have. That command did work. So it says size of logical volume changed from 7 GIB to less than 8.99 GIBs. And it gives it to you in terms of extents. It went from 1792 extents to 2301 extents. If you recall, what we had left was 2301 extents, okay? File system is XFS, okay, and mounted at /mount. I probably should have unmounted it. I don't know if that matters or not, but we'll see if there's an error given at some point in the future. It tells you it's extending file system XFS to less than 8.99 GIBs, okay, and then you see right here, it automatically resized it for you. That's the command that it would have called. I would have had to invoke if I didn't give the -R option. Now, if this logical volume was like a VFET or an EXT4 or EXT3, then it would have invoked the command here that grows or resizes those file system types. So let's go take a look, and it tells you right here what the file system is, and it tells you that it was successfully resized. So let's go back and take a look at our logical volume. We'll invoke the LV display command again. And here we are. So now we have a size about 8.99 GIBs, okay? If we go to, let's just invoke the block ID of olu and see what information. I think you should give me more than that. Block ID of. I would have expected that to give me some information. Okay, I'll have to figure out what's going on there later. So, but if we invoke the ls block hyphen f command, we should have more information showing us that we went from what 7 gigabytes to 8.8 gigabytes. Okay, and we're still mounted to onto this folder here. In retrospect, I'm thinking that I should have probably unmounted this volume from the /MNT folder, but I don't know. We'll see how that works in the future. And also, when preparing for this test, I think you should really try to understand all types of file systems that, logical volumes could be created under, and how to mount them and how to make sure they persist. There's not a whole lot that I can share with you there because due to the non-disclosure agreement, but you just have to practice and practice and practice. And I think if you do that, you'll be able to do really well on this question. This brings me to the end of today's session. Thank you very much and have a good rest of your day.